Hey everybody, this is Alan. Thanks a lot for coming by and checking out my video. This is going to be on a mega tree setup. Kind of setting up my mega tree early this season because it is my first year setting up I guess you'd call it a light show, a Christmas light show. And because I'm new at it, I wanted to make sure everything was working properly. I've been working on it since December, and just got to work out all the bugs before the season comes. And I wanted to make sure, I wasn't going to have any problems. And overall, it went really well. But I put together kind of like a little show here, and I'll show you some of my success and some of my failure. Things didn't go 100% as planned, and this slide right here kind of says it all, right? I had some success and some failures, and I'll get into that. But before I do, I just want to say, there's obviously a lot of people out there with experience, and I'm new at this, but there's also going to be a lot of criticism, and I got very thick skin. It's not going to hurt me any. I had to do what I have to do for my budget to get my show up and running, and I do have a lot of handyman experience, and I've done everything from welding and painting cars and building homes and construction and everything. So I feel like I'm pretty well rounded, and I know what's going to work and what's not for me. But again, this is a very expensive hobby, and I had to take a few shortcuts here and there, and that's just the way it is. And so as I go through this, take it for what you will. Maybe something that's going to work for you, or something that you think is not going to work at all, and we'll see what happens at the end of the season if it was actually a success for me or not. So with that said, let me go ahead and jump in and show you what I'm doing this year for my mega tree. If you're in the hobby, you're familiar with what a mega tree is, and probably what's brought you to this video. So let me go ahead and play this here, and we'll see what comes up. So the first thing is my mega tree is not a pole, right? I'm not doing a steel pole that's up in 20, 30 feet up in the air. I'm actually doing about an 8-foot tree. I'm using a 4x4 post, a pressure treated 4x4 post. It's a pretty heavy duty post. It's 12 foot long. And what I did was I took some rigid conduit and I buried it in the ground. And the post is going to slide down into this hole. Now, I've posted about this before in some of the Facebook groups, and there was some criticism, and people said, "Oh, the pole's going to snap. It's not going to hold up to the wind. It's going to get stuck in this hole here. I'm not going to be able to get it out. The wood's going to swell." All that stuff. And I have no doubt that some of that may be accurate. I don't feel that it's going to break the post at all. But as far as the swelling's concerned, I did try to seal the wood up. I painted it also after I sealed it. And I'm hoping that when I put it down in this hole that it does not swell up. That doesn't mean that some dirt's not going to get between the post and the conduit and kind of lock it in place. But that's okay. If I have to dig it up later, I'll just dig the whole conduit back out. This is 4 feet into the ground, so it's definitely, the post is 12 foot. Like I said, it's 4 feet into the ground, so it's going to be pretty stable. And it's kind of my first year, like I said, and maybe next year I'll be able to spend my money on the post that most of the hobbyists use. For right now, this was what I came up with that I could afford. So let me go ahead and continue here. So I have this hole in the ground, and it gets covered, by the way, with kind of like an irrigation valve cover, a green valve cover, and the grass will grow over it eventually. So this is the 4x4. I cut all the corners off and rounded it off the best I could, and made sure that the conduit slid all the way up, all 4 foot of the rounded off post. And it's got a little room. It's loose, so when the pole is in the hole, it can move a little bit in each direction, and hopefully that addresses the swelling concerns and a little bit of dirt getting in there and locking it in place. Um, I made it loose on, kind of on purpose, and hopefully if I need to, if there's a lot of wind sway or anything like that, it doesn't move a lot, but let's just say it does, I can always put some guy wires on this. I do not intend on putting any guy wires on it, but if I need to, I will. So the next photo just kind of shows how I rounded it off. And if anybody wants to do this, if somebody is looking at this and saying, "Oh, that's a decent idea," I think I might try it. It only cost me the cost of a 4x4, and it will last for 1 year, and that's all I needed to last. Then that's great. If you're wondering how I rounded this off, I basically took my saw and cut the corners off at a 45-degree angle. I spray painted the conduit inside a small piece of conduit so I can kind of get a circle of what it needed to look like. And then I cut those off. I cut down the sides on all 4 sides. And then I took an angle grinder and I just grinded away the wood. And it was so fast. I mean, I had this thing banged out in, I don't even know, maybe 20 minutes total time. So, painted the wood. I got some sealer here. I sealed this down here, and then I also painted it. And I don't have a picture of the painted post in the ground, but this is the post in the ground. You can see it's nice and straight. When I put the conduit in, I had a 4-foot level sticking on the side of it inside, and kind of sticking out a little out. And I was packing the dirt in around it and made sure I had it packed in there really good. And yeah, the pole's pretty solid. The conduit doesn't move at all. It's been in there now for probably 8 months. I think I did it, well, maybe not 8 months. I think I did it back in March or February time frame. So it's been in the ground for a while now. This is me with a plate that I put in place here on top of the pole. I only got 1 screw in it right now. It's like a 4-inch lag screw. But there are some holes drilled in here where I'm going to add a few more just drywall screws so it doesn't spin around. But that 1 lag screw right there, I'm hoping is good enough. I mean, it's very solid. It's not flexing or anything. The plate is not quite a 1/4 inch. It's probably 3/16 steel that I had laying around in my garage. I collect steel. Anytime I see steel, I've always been a welder and a tinkerer, so I always have stuff laying around, angle iron and whatnot. And I've had this steel plate probably for 20 years sitting in my garage. I drew on paper first. I wanted 32 holes in it. I think this was 11 inches from here to here, and basically 11 inches on each side of it and up. You can see it's a little flat in the front because my steel wasn't quite 11 inches thick, wide. So anyways, I did a paper template, put it on there, drew it with a marker, and then I took my angle grinder again, and I had a cutoff wheel on the angle grinder, and I basically just actually no, that's wrong. I used a sawzall for this, believe it or not. I have a cordless sawzall and I have a metal blade for it, and it just chewed right through this stuff. And this plate is, like I said, it's about 3/16, but it's very, you're not bending it. I mean, there's no way you're gonna bend it. It's solid. No concerns whatsoever about the weight that's going to be on that. I painted it too with some black Rust-Oleum, but really don't care if it rusts, to be honest. So this is just a high-speed video of me hooking up my stuff on here. Now, I do want to say that this is a trial run. I dug a hole in my backyard as well with a piece of conduit. The one in the front yard is 4 foot deep. The one in the backyard is only 2 foot deep. Excuse me. And it's the stuff that I'm bolting on right now. I'm using 1/4 inch bolts with a flat washer on top and a nut on the bottom. Don't need a washer on the bottom because the steel plate's on the bottom. But this again is just quick and dirty. Get it up and for testing purposes. The actual tree, when I mount it in the front yard, it's going to be the 4 foot in. But I also have, for each of my pixel strips, I have a steel plate that I got from Boscoyo that came along with my strips. And, you fold the strip over so it's double holed, and it's got that steel plate in between it. and then the bolt will go through that. So for today, I didn't really use the steel plates in between two of the holes on the strip. Didn't need to, but in real life, when the season comes along, I will. And I guess my understanding as a newbie, those things help prevent the strip from getting stretched out and tearing through those holes. Right? It's kind of like some kind of a stopper plate, if you will, or grommet or something. So anyways, yeah, I put all 32 of these on. Somewhere in here, I have one of them upside down. I think it's this one right here. And, once I put the pole up, I didn't realize it was upside down until I put the pole up. And I had to stay that way because I wasn't about to get a ladder out and try to fix that. So, yeah, I put all 32 strips on. I'm using a 16 port controller, Falcon controller for that. I think this one's a V4. And basically 200 nodes per port. So I have, starting from this corner over here, I have a male at the bottom and a female at the top, and then the second one's got a male at the top and a female at the bottom. X-connectors, and I'm only using the bottom connector, the male connector at the bottom. The female's not connected to anything, and that runs to my ports. So 16 ports going around. This is port 1, because when the tree stands up, it's going to be on the left side facing us right now. So after I put all those on there, I laid out my whole thing here in my yard, and right here I'm I muted the audio, but basically it says something to the effect of, let me see if I can stand this tree up all by myself. And this is where the failure comes along. So I'll just let you see for yourself, and then we'll talk about it. That thing is very heavy, by the way. It's with all those pixels on there, way heavier than I thought. And I guess a little commentary here too. Where the pole is standing up right now is like a drain in my yard. The hole is like 3 feet back from there, so I would have had to pick this thing up and move it about 3 feet. I can pick the pole up and with the plate on top, no problem. But with the pixels on there, it's not a good thing. So here we go. Hopefully it don't go through my bedroom window. Yep, that's me. That's my name is Earl, I guess. Best impression, and right here I'll stop that for a second. So let me back that up just a little bit here. Let's see if I can back it up. So right here, my failure. Right, tried to do something myself with stuff that cost me a lot of money, and that steel plate at the bottom, when it comes down on those lights, I was like, oh man, I probably just busted a whole bunch of those nodes and maybe even cut through a couple of the strips and wires and everything. But turned out that even though it did kind of teeter off of my back and hit the ground, turned out it didn't damage anything. So I got really lucky there. I guess somebody up there likes me, I guess. And I got lucky. So what to do next, right? I mean, that was my failure. You need to ask for help, and everybody be careful out there. And luckily it didn't go through my wife's bedroom window, because then I would have really hurt it. So I went and grabbed a neighbor. I heard a neighbor over here, and a good friend of mine, Jason, came over and helped me out. And this time we dragged the bottom of the post over to where the hole starts, the hole that's in the ground, and very easy. Once we did that, it just you can see here it just goes right up and in there. So Jason's basically lining it up with the hole there. It's, as I push up, it's kind of caught on the lip, so we got to kind of kick it in there a little. You see that here, and there it goes, and a bunch of water squirted out. I got Jason all wet in the legs, so he says he didn't pee his pants, but I don't know. Maybe he did. Anyways, thank you, Jason, if you're watching this. I appreciate the help. Sorry for the pants. You can send me a cleaning bill if you like. And right here, yeah, I guess this is a good place to stop it. Again, this is just a trial run. This is not how my tree is going to be set up. The post is still about 2 feet out of the ground, because I didn't get to go all the way 4 feet up. I didn't feel like digging a 4-foot deep hole in my backyard. So it's kind of high right now. You can see the top looks very clean with the bolts and the way that I did that without the S hooks or the Caribbean hooks or whatever they're called, carabine hooks. So I like this look. I thought, that's pretty cool. And when I fold over the extra hole, it's even going to be a little bit higher up there. On the bottom, I do not have a base ring just yet. I'm trying to find somebody that can maybe bend some EMT for me or something, or maybe find an old patio, round patio table on Craigslist for free, or somebody that broke out the glass or something, or maybe I can get, a small trampoline. I know that's all stuff that you guys like to use, but I don't have anything just yet. I'm still working on that part. And I definitely would like it to be as cheap as possible, because I'm trying not to spend any more money on this project. I did spend a lot of money, and I know, you could always argue just a little bit more, just to do the job right. Well, I'm going to do the job right next year. And right now, this year, I'm trying to be a little thrifty here on the last couple pieces. And really, this is the only piece I have left. So what I did here, though, just for testing, I have bungee cords, like the little ball bungee cord tie-off things that you would normally wrap around the EMT. You can't see it too well here, but I put about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I don't know, maybe about 10 pieces of rebar in the ground. And then I just took this rope right here. I have like a rolled up piece of rope from Home Depot, nylon rope. And I just wrapped it around each one of the rebars all the way around the tree. They're all spaced 3 feet off the tree. And then I just took those nylon bungee ball thingies and put them through the strip, and just kind of wrapped them around the rope. And it worked great. I wasn't worried about wind. It's only being set up for 1 day, so I wasn't worried about that. It's just a quick test, make sure everything works, and then I took it all back down. But it worked good. I didn't bother with the spacing, I just kind of eyeballed it real quick. I did have that one strip, you can kind of see it up here, that was turned backwards, and that affected the show a little bit. I think I had 2 or 3 lights that were popped out from when I dropped it. I had to pop them back in, but they were all working. And so overall, this method worked great for the test, quote test, and yeah, no complaints. So that's what the tree looked like. And I got my window frames and my snowflakes and my controllers. I got another 16-port controller here. There's a 16-port controller sitting in the front here with a smart receiver, and it's all wired up, I think, at this point. And this is what the tree looks like during the daytime. And you can see that one strip there turned backwards, and there's a light out right there, not broken, but just popped out. And this is the Lion King sequence. You can see all the drafts going by, and I've added extra drafts. Somebody in the Zoom room helped me out with that, and some baby drafts and some birds and elephants and all that kind of stuff go by. So this is daytime. You can see it's pretty bright. I have it set to 30%. So overall success on that. Everything looks great, and I have up and coming here some nighttime pictures as well. This just kind of shows the high definitionness of the mega tree. These are 32 strips, 100 per strip, and 1 inch spacing. I did want my tree to be as dense as possible, just because I want to be able to see some cool images like this. Now I will say that I also played the Polar Express on this tree, and the Polar Express has a lot of videos in it, and I couldn't make out really any of it. I mean, I kind of knew what it was because I did the sequence, but something's off. I need to maybe change the video aspect ratios or something. I don't know, but that one might not work so well. It probably was meant more for a matrix versus a round tree. Yeah, so I'm going to hit play here, and there's some more video coming up. Just real quick, though, I am trying to get started as a YouTuber as well. And if you're logged into YouTube watching this video, I appreciate the thumbs up and clicking the subscribe button. I don't have a whole lot of videos, so I'm not going to be subscribing the hell out of you anyways. But I do want to load some more videos, and hopefully you'll like the content. Hopefully my video editing skills get a little bit better. But likes are very important to YouTubers, so if you're there, please at least like it. I don't know if you know this, but it takes 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time on your channel before you can monetize your channel. And that's really what my goal would be. If I'm going to have a YouTube channel, I want to monetize it. So, you know, you need 1,000 subscribers. So if you're there, please subscribe and like. And finally, there's just a little bit more video coming up here of some other sequences that I had running on the tree. Again, very successful. I'm very happy with the way everything turned out. You know, you can see kind of everything going here, but the tree looks great. And just be careful out there setting those things up. I've always heard that there's stories every year about mega trees and them coming down because of wind and you know, storms and whatnot, weak poles. Hopefully I'm not going to be one of those statistics. I think that it's going to be nice and solid. I don't think it's going to snap. We don't get a whole lot of wind out here in Texas, or at least not where I'm at least not wind that's going to break a 4x4 post. I got plenty of them on my fence, which are like sails, and those things stay up, and I'm only a couple feet taller than those right now with mine. I realize that there's a little bit extra weight up there, but I think it's going to be all right. We'll see how it goes. So anyways, like and comment, and if you do comment, I'll try to respond, and hopefully you know, you enjoyed this video. Thank you.